You said yes again, even though everything inside you was screaming no. You are teaching your mind that your comfort is negotiable. It communicates that your time and energy are precious. It teaches people how to treat you by showing them how you treat yourself. The most powerful boundary is not what you say to others. It is what you are willing to enforce for yourself. This is where your real power lies, not in controlling others, but in honoring yourself. Now I want to speak directly to the part of you that is scared. The part that believes you must earn your right to exist through service. That part is not your enemy. It is a protector that learned to keep you safe in a world that felt unpredictable. Your boundaries are optional. You can thank it for its service while gently updating its strategy. The world you live in now is different from the one where this pattern began. You have more resources and more choices than that child did. You can begin to rewire your brain one small no at a time. Start with low-stakes situations where the consequence of saying no is minimal. Notice the anxiety that arises and breathe through it without reacting. Your nervous system needs to learn that saying no is not fatal. It is actually the birthplace of your authentic self. Every time you choose yourself, you build self-trust. That self-trust becomes the foundation for everything else in your life. Your time is not your own. The relationships you attract will fundamentally change. You will stop attracting users and start attracting true partners. People who love you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. This is how you transform from someone who can't say no into someone who chooses their yeses with power and intention. Your liberation begins with a single, gentle, firm no. This pattern doesn't start in adulthood. Its roots are buried in your earliest relationships. Perhaps you learned that love was conditional on your compliance. Maybe you discovered that conflict was more dangerous than silence. You might have been praised for being the easygoing one. That label became a cage you learned to call home. Your brain began to associate saying no with terrifying consequences. That sinking feeling in your stomach is a quiet betrayal of your own needs. Abandonment, rejection, or even just disappointing someone you care about. So you made a subconscious calculation. Your discomfort was a smaller price to pay than their disapproval. This is the hidden transaction happening beneath every forced yes. You are trading your peace for perceived safety. But here is the painful paradox of this entire dynamic. The safety you think you're buying is an illusion. Every time you betray yourself, you lose a piece of your own trust. You become less safe to yourself. This creates a vicious cycle of resentment and exhaustion. You tell yourself it's just this one last time, but you know it's a lie. The people you please cannot feel the cost of your compliance. Only you carry the weight of that invisible burden. Your body keeps score even when your mind tries to forget. That chronic tension in your shoulders is stored resentment. That constant low-grade anxiety is your system begging for boundaries. Your body is trying to speak the truth your mouth won't say. Now let's uncover the psychological mechanisms behind this pattern. The fear of saying no is often a trauma response, not a personality trait. It's a survival strategy that once protected you. Your nervous system learned to prioritize harmony over authenticity. This isn't just about being nice or helpful. This is called the Fawn response, a lesser-known survival mode. While some people fight, flee, or freeze, you fawn. You appease and people, please to de-escalate perceived threats. The threat might be as simple as a friend's slight disappointment. But to your nervous system, it feels like existential danger. This is why logical arguments about setting boundaries often fail. You are fighting against your own biological programming. There is another hidden psychological driver at play. Your self-worth became entangled with your usefulness to others. You learned that your value was in what you could provide. This is a deep psychological prison you built for yourself. It's not in who you inherently are. So when you say no, it doesn't feel like setting a boundary. It feels like you are making yourself worthless. You are revoking your own reason for being loved. This is the core wound that fuels the inability to say no. The belief that you must earn your place through service, that you are not inherently deserving of love and respect. This is why setting boundaries can feel so terrifying. It feels like you are risking your very belonging. But here is the psychological truth that will set you free. The inability to say no is a silent epidemic of self-abandonment. The people who respect your no are the ones who truly value your yes. Anyone who withdraws love when you set a boundary never truly loved you. They loved what you could do for them. This distinction is everything for your healing journey. Your inability to say no is actually protecting you from the wrong people. It is a faulty but well-intentioned radar for finding safe relationships. The goal is not to become someone who says no to everything. The goal is to become someone who chooses their yeses freely. There is a world of difference between compliance and choice. One drains your soul while the other nourishes it. You are not alone in this struggle. Now let's talk about what happens in your brain during these moments. When faced with a request, your amygdala screams danger at the thought of refusal. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical part, gets hijacked by this fear. This is why you can know intellectually that saying no is okay, but still feel physically incapable of forming the word. Your body is literally preparing for a threat that isn't there. This is the neuroscience behind people-pleasing. You are not weak-willed or indecisive. You are having a physiological stress response. Understanding this changes everything. In fact, your brain has been wired to fear that simple two-letter word. You can stop shaming yourself for something that is not your fault. You can approach this pattern with curiosity instead of judgment. The path to change begins with this simple but profound shift. Now I want you to think about the cost of your endless yeses. What dreams have you postponed because you were too busy helping others? What parts of yourself have you silenced to maintain peace? The resentment you feel toward others is really misplaced grief. It is grief for the life you are not living, for the person you are not becoming. Every time you say yes to something you don't want, every time you agree against will you reinforce a dangerous neural pathway. You are saying no to something you deeply do want. This is the tragic mathematics of people-pleasing. You are constantly subtracting from your own life to add to others. But here is what nobody tells you about this dynamic. Your endless availability actually devalues your genuine generosity. When you never say no, your yes becomes meaningless. It becomes expected rather than appreciated. Your kindness becomes an obligation rather than a gift. This is the psychological paradox of boundaries. Saying no actually makes your yes more valuable.